Hey guys, I'm Greg Todd, and today we are going to be talking about managing conflict. And, just kind of, this is something I believe every college student should know because managing conflict is going to be very crucial to be used in forming, maintaining, and eventually sometimes ending those relationships. And this presentation's purpose is kind of just, to expand upon that idea and why these things are going to be important. And mainly what I like to highlight here is something from chapter 13, which is principle 8. And principle 8 likes to focus on the management of conflict and relational transgressions and kind of highlight the importance of the communication skills when tensions arise. And college students sometimes will experience frequent interpersonal conflict due to things like closed living arrangements, academic pressure, changing identities, and developing their independence. So one thing I would like to talk about is roommates. And sometimes nobody likes them. So one thing I would like to ask is, I'd like you to pause and think back to when you and a roommate had an argument. Did you handle it respectfully, or did you handle it like a teenager? Yes?
When I was a freshman, I had a roommate that would call their parents really late at night or early in the morning. So it made me mad. So I started calling people I knew really late or early to get back at them.
And honestly, that's a good example of things about ineffective conflict behaviors for things like personal attacks, stonewalling, or avoidance. And things like that can often escalate the relationship problems more than resolve them. And this principle kind of mainly looks back on that, showcases that the conflict itself isn't harmful necessarily, mainly it's your reaction to it, because things like that example can damage the relationship further. And doing something like that your freshman year earlier in the year isn't necessarily good because you need those relationships the further on in college. And just understanding how to manage this conflict competently is very crucial. And in a transitional period like college, where you're navigating new social environments, you're forming good relationships and balancing a lot of responsibilities, being able to handle that conflict in an adult manner is going to be very important and crucial in your life. And the way we handle conflict is important as adults, and our actions will reflect back strongly on us, especially in a professional field. And competent conflict communication can improve emotional regulation, reduce stress, and strengthen trust between relational partners, be platonic or romantic, which is important, especially on the reduced stress part, because you're in college, things are going to be stressful for your first year, especially as a freshman. And having communication issues is not a good thing to start the year out with. And people who understand how to manage this conflict are more likely to feel confident addressing the problems rather than avoiding them. And that's, as I said, very important when moving into professional environments. And there is research showing that having competence in this conflict communication is strongly associated with emotional control, perspective taking, and cooperative problem solving, which shows kind of that these people that know how to handle conflict and handle things like this are more able to work functionally in settings that involve a lot more people. So just kind of to circle back, conflict management and things like this and emotional regulation are very important for college students, as they will need these skills very farther down in the future.